Hey, so we all make mistakes, but owning up to them is the right thing to do. You know Degree Cool Rush deodorant? Well, last year they changed the formula and it did not go over well with their fans. Degree's whole thing is it turns up the sweat and odor protection when you turn up the effort. And good thing it does because Cool Rush fans really turned up the effort to bring back the original formula. One guy even started an online petition. And Degree listened. They admit it, they effed up. And they are bringing the original Cool Rush set back. And it's exactly how you remembered it. Cool, crisp, and fresh. It's back in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. There's a reason why it's been the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. It's the same reason why people were not happy when it changed. So if you never tried it, it might be a good time to see what the fuss is about. Head to your local Walmart or Target to try the OG Degree Cool Rush for yourself.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, last night, 128-126, the Thunder beat the Timberwolves. They lead that series 3-1. And tonight, the Knicks take on the Pacers at 8 p.m. in Indiana. So let's go, New York, New York, New York.
You ain't say that when you was in Indiana?
I did.
No,
I just wasn't as loud.
How many more games they got?
Well, it's best out of 7.
Yeah.
Oh, this the last one tonight?
No.
it depends.
Right
First
now,
person to
Indiana
win
leads
4
2-1.
games.
Oh,
Yeah.
the first person won.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
What up, Morgan?
Hey, y'all. Hey, well, welcome back. It feels good to be back. So let's get into it. First up on front page, yesterday was Memorial Day, and President Trump honored those who gave their lives serving in the military. He visited Arlington National Cemetery to mark the occasion and participated in the wreath-laying ceremony at the tomb of the unknown soldier before delivering remarks. Now, he said that he, of course, and we would be lost without our service members while also honoring Gold Star families. Let's take a listen to his comments.
In every hour of peril, in every moment of crisis, American warriors have left behind the blessings of home and family to answer their nation's call. They've offered all that they had within them and given their last breaths to each and every one of us that we might live safe. Every Gold Star family fights a battle long after the victory is won, and today we lift you up and we hold you high.
He must have took his meds then. That was tame compared to what he put on social media when he said Happy Memorial Day to all, including the scum that spent the last 4 years trying to destroy our country through warped radical left minds.
The man got cancer. You just still shooting at it. You just don't care.
Yeah, that's crazy. But Trump did say that we share in the sorrow with the families of fallen service members. He added that those service members gave everything and asked for nothing. And I like to take it a step further. And, to those who have lost someone that has served, we continue to salute their service and sacrifice because we know for you every day is Memorial Day. So, but moving on in unfortunate news, this comes as a Congress member. We're mourning the loss of a Congress member, former New York representative and Korean War veteran Charlie Rangel, who died at the age of Rangel. Is it?
Charlie Rangel.
Okay. Well,
That's
you
what I
guys know.
thought.
Y'all in New York. So Rangel, often referred to as the Lion of Harlem, died on Memorial Day surrounded by family. He was elected to Congress in 1971, where he served for 46 years, becoming the House Ways and Means Chairman in 2007. He was the primary sponsor of 40 bills during his tenure, including President Obama's Affordable Care Act, the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit, and the so-called Rangel Amendment, aimed at ending apartheid in South Africa. Now, New York City Mayor Eric Adams is saluting Rangel as a true American, and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is calling him a trailblazer and champion for justice. Of course, right now there's no word or details surrounding his death or funeral arrangements, but of course we are continuing to mourn his loss. And we will mark the occasion by honoring him as well, considering the fact that he was a Korean War vet. But that's your front page news for 6 a.m. At 7 a.m., we'll talk about President Trump and how he feels about current President Vladimir Putin, Russian President Vladimir Putin, calling him absolutely crazy. And then we'll also get into the big, beautiful bill because, that's moving forward in the Senate right now. So stick around.
All right. And everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Let us know how your weekend was. I know it's tough, 3-day weekend. You got to get back to work on Tuesday. It's hard getting up this morning.
Man.
Let us know how your weekend was, what you did. 800-585-1051. Get it off your chest. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Now, last night, the Thunder beat the Timberwolves 128-126. They lead the series 3-1. And my Knicks take on the Pacers tonight at 8 p.m. So, let's go, New York. Go, New York, go. What's up, Morgan?
All right, yeah, let's get into it. So President Trump says Russian President Vladimir Putin has absolutely gone crazy. So talking to Truth Social on Sunday, Trump said the two have always had a good relationship, but something has happened to Putin. He added that Putin is needlessly killing a lot of people and that he has always once said that Putin wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it. Let's take a listen to President Trump's comments on Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all.
So Ukrainian President Zelensky, in a post on social media on Sunday, said that nearly 300 attack drones had been launched by Russia. Meanwhile, a top Democrat in the House Intelligence Committee, Connecticut's Jim Himes, he told CBS's Face the Nation that the U.S. needs to apply maximum pressure on Russia and apply sanctions. Let's take a listen to his comments.
We really uptick the sanctions. We stop the export of oil. We pressure India to stop buying Russian oil. And of course, we keep arming the Ukrainians. Maximize the leverage of the West so that we can bring this war not just to a conclusion, but to a fair and just conclusion that will keep the Russians from invading countries in the future.
So officials in Kyiv say that at least 12 people were injured in a Russian drone attack early on Sunday, which damaged homes and apartment buildings. So continue to keep you guys posted on those international affairs.
Yeah, I've been watching that little, I've been watching those exchanges, and it's like those two egos could be the end of civilization as we know it. Like I was thinking about that over the weekend.
You say the two, are you talking Trump
Putin and Trump? Putin
yes,
and Trump. Like you know how they always said Russia and Putin had something on Trump, and they talk about the P tapes and all that other stuff, and basically Russia had America in his pocket, and they helped to steal the election. What if all that is true, right? Then Trump has no more use for Putin anymore, and wouldn't you want to get the guy that allegedly has all of this blackmail material against you? Wouldn't you want to get him out of here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So wouldn't now be the time? It just I just don't like when I hear him say, Putin's crazy, he's lost it, blah blah blah, and then the Kremlin and they throw a little shot back. Like that could get stupid real fast.
Yeah, because then they start talking about nuclear and this and
exactly.
And we don't need those problems.
Exactly.
We don't need those problems. We'll bring it back to the home front.
That's bigger than a problem. If like that would be the end of civilization as we know it.
Yeah, so if we could bring it back just a little bit, back to the big, beautiful bill. So the Senate is now set to take up President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill after the House narrowly passed the massive spending and tax cut measure by a single vote. Now, Senate Republicans have promised to make changes to the bill, but House Speaker Mike Johnson tells CNN's State of the Union that would be a bad idea. He disagrees with analysts who claim the bill would add to the nation's debt, and he also took issue with the Congressional Budget Office estimate that almost 8 million Americans will eventually lose their health care coverage because of those cuts to Medicaid. Let's take a listen to House Speaker Mike Johnson on CNN's State of the Union.
I have a very delicate balance here, a very delicate equilibrium that we've reached over a long period of time, and it's best not to meddle with it too much. Wages will rise, job creators, entrepreneurs, risk takers will have more ability to expand their businesses. U.S. manufacturing onshore is being incentivized. All these things will work together to make the economy grow faster than many of these projections are putting forth.
So Mike Johnson contends that many of those people are illegal immigrants and able-bodied young men who refuse to work, and that they're committing fraud by enrolling in Medicaid. Now, Johnson answers critics who say the bill doesn't go far enough, saying we're doing the best that we can with the vote numbers that we have. So again, I will continue to keep you guys updated on that. I believe their goal to get it through the Senate is July 4th. We do have a few on and off weeks over the next few weeks in terms of Congress being in recess and back in session. So July 4th is their deadline, or at least their projected deadline that they want to get this through the Senate. And former Surgeon General Vivek Murthy is calling on Congress to do more to protect children from the harms of social media. He tells NBC's Meet the Press that lawmakers need to establish safety standards for social media platforms because right now there are no protection for kids. He suggests putting warning labels on social media platforms and establishing those safety standards. Let's take a listen to his comments on NBC's Meet the Press. Vivek Murthy.
It's equivalent of putting our kids in cars with no seatbelts, with no airbags, and having them drive on roads with no speed limits and no traffic lights. And that is just morally unacceptable. I think Congress has so far failed in its responsibility to protect our kids, but it's not too late. They need to step up and act now. Put warning labels on social media platforms so that parents and kids are aware of the risks that we see.
I don't think warning labels are going to change anything. I mean, parents just got to be, watch over their kids much more, but we do have to figure out something to do. But besides just that, I don't know if you guys have been seeing this new trend where, well, it's not even a new trend, but they've been doing it for a long time, but it's getting worse and worse and worse, where these kids are doing pop-ups at malls. So they'll put it on social media, and then you'll get 500, 600, 700, 1,000 kids at a mall, and then they run through the mall, stealing things, fighting, getting into altercations. So it's getting more and more dangerous when it comes to social media. It scares the
That ain't got nothing to do with social media, though.
That's social media, too. Because they do it on that platform to do it.
Yeah, but these people would be running up in stores and taking clothes has been going on way before social media.
Not like this. They're doing it every weekend.
I mean, they
put it on social media.
I'm saying some people maybe do it for trends, but I mean, they was doing stuff like that way before social media. I can't
not
blame.
Not as often as it is.
I can't blame boosting on social media.
Nah, not as often as it is now.
As a result of that,
we got a booster right over here.
Shut up! I knew it was coming. I never wanted to be on camera when I was on it.
Exactly.
But she ain't boosted 1,000 people. She just did it on her
by
by
myself. Yeah.
Nah, for real, you gotta get in and get out. No, but as a result of that, I know at least here in the DMV, they've started to implement a lot of curfews, early curfews, especially on Fridays and Saturdays for reasons like early, like 5 p.m. That if you're in a mall or a town center of some sort before a certain and you're under the age of 8, even 16, you need to have an adult with you. Murthy did go on to say though that parents should try to keep children under the age of 16 off social media if possible, because kids are being affected in different way than adults, and they're starting to see it in the actual brain development and brain activity. So he's also calling on Congress to require more data transparency so that researchers can better study the effects of social media on young people.
Yeah, that's been going on for a long time. Like the malls, either if you were under 18, you had to be accompanied by a parent or guardian, or they would have a curfew on the weekends. Like as long as I can remember, growing up in South Carolina, they would even do that.
But that was big. That was big in the South, because when I went to school in Hampton, it could only be 3 people. You can only be in the mall with 3 people. Other than that, you had to break it up.
You know
if you
why?
went with 6, you had to break up, and you had a curfew.
You know why? Because they be fighting, but also they be running up in them stores in a pack and just taking stuff.
But I only see that when I was
this stuff been going on way before social media. That's not a trend I would blame social media.
It's just now amplified.
Yeah,
more.
But in New York, we didn't have those type of curfews or those problems. But when I went to school in the South, they definitely did.
All right, so that's your social media. That's your front page news, y'all. Follow me on socials at Morgan Media, I guess, if you're on there. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at binnews.com. Make it a great week, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.